Hadith 2. To be deprived of Laylatul Qadr is to be deprived of all good. Anasin radiyallahu anhu qala taqala Ramadanu faqala Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam inna hadha shahra qad adarakum wa fihi laylatan khairun min alf shahrin man hurimaha faqad hurima al-khaira kullahu wala yuhramu khairaha illa yahrum. This is narrated by Ibn Majah. Anas, God to be pleased with him, reports, once Ramadan began, the messenger of God, divine contact upon him in wholeness, said, a month has verily come upon you, wherein lies a night better than 1,000 months. Whoever misses such a night has indeed been deprived of all that is good, and his name, and none is deprived of it except who is really unfortunate. Note, who can have any doubt as to the misfortune of a person who is either deprived or deprives himself of the great good of Laylatul Qadr. There are those who during their service and terms of employment have to stay awake by night throughout the year. How easy should it be, for the sake of gaining the reward of over 80 years of worship of Ibadah, to stay awake for 1 month in Allah's service. Because of lack of interest, there is no desire in the heart. If that were present, then even 1,000 nights in worship of Allah will become exceedingly easy. It is this urge and desire that we must create. Our Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam has been promised time and time again that he had nothing to fear in the akhirah, the hereafter, and had been given good news as well as exalted position. Yet night after night he was seen in worship, so much that his feet became swollen. Among the believers of Islam there were many saintly followers who copied his example. They were human beings like us, and none can thus say that it is impossible for us to have that same desire to worship. It is really a matter of taking this to heart. Let us look at the example of the following illustrious sons of Islam. One such man was Umar radiyallahu anhu, who after having performed his Isha Salah would return home and then remain in Salah throughout the night until the Adhan was heard for Fajr. Then there is the example of Uthman radiyallahu anhu, who after fasting the whole day used to spend the whole night in Salah, apart from getting a little sleep during the first third of the night. It is well known about him that he used to recite the whole Quran during 1 rak'ah at a time. A bow division of the prayer. So you stand up and, before a bow or during a segment that includes a bow. And the voluntary prayers at night are in sets of 2, except the odd number prayer. In Ihya Ulum al-Din by Imam al-Ghazali, Abu Talib Maki mentions some 40 men from among the Tabi'in who used to perform Fajr Salah with the same ablution, wudu, which they had performed their Isha Salah. So their dawn prayer with the same as their dusk prayer. Shaddad radiyallahu anhu was one of the Sahaba companions who used to lie awake throughout the night, turning from side to side until dawn, and used to say, O God, the fear of the fire of hell has driven away my sleep. Aswad ibn Yazid, rahmatullah alayh, apart from sleeping a little between evening and dusk, used to remain ibadah during Ramadan, throughout the night. Now, when we say evening, we mean, the sun goes below the horizon. The horizontal lines of twilight disappear, and that's dusk. So between the prayers, in other words, is being meant. Say one prayer, sleep. Another prayer. Is to remain in ibadah during Ramadan throughout the night. It is said of Sa'id ibn al-Musayyib that for 50 years he used to perform Isha and Fajr Salah with the same ablutions wudu. Then there is an example of Silah ibn Ashyam, who after spending the whole night in Allah's worship used to say at the break of the day, "O Allah, I am not fit to beg the paradise of you in the hereafter, but all I beg of you is that you save me from the hell." Qatada, I may be thinking of a name that has ta or da instead of t and Radiallahu anhu used to recite the whole Quran every 3 nights of Ramadan, but during the last 10 nights he used to finish the whole Quran and every night. About Imam Abu Hanifa, rahmatullahi, it is well known that for 40 years he performed Isha and the next morning's Fajr with the same wudu. When his companions inquired of him as to how he had obtained the strength for this, he replied, "It is an answer to a special prayer I have made to Allah by the blessedness of his special names." He merely slept a little in the afternoon, about which he said, "In the hadith, we are advised to do so." In other words, even in the afternoon sleep, his intention was to follow the sunnah.